So a Disney movie literally changed my life. And it's crazy to say that because it's a kids movie. My wife always gets on me. She's always like, "Why are we watching these kids movie?" I'm literally the person that will go to the movies to go watch Moana 2 in theaters. I think we went to go see the movie Coco. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but when that first came out, we saw it twice in theaters because I thought it was that good. She likes kids movies too, but I think it just brings out the inner child in me or something. I love like the animation. I love it. Just puts me in the movie. And if you've never been to Disneyland, I was not a big advocate for Disneyland until I went, and it was crazy because I felt like I was actually in these movies, and it just almost they probably like put a spell on me or something because I felt like I was in a trance, like real life didn't exist. But the movie that I'm talking about that really resonated with me and changed my life was Disney's. I don't know if it's Disney, Pixar, or whatever, but it's Disney's movie Soul, Soul. And if you've never seen that movie before, I encourage you to do so as an adult. Or if you're a kid watching this, go to bed. I don't know what you're doing that. But watch that movie. And the reason is, if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to close your ears because I'm going to spoil the whole thing for you right now. So the movie Soul is about a guy named Joe. And it's crazy that I just realized his name is Joe because he's probably just a regular Joe or average Joe, something like that. Shout out to Unaverage Joe if you're watching this. Follow him on YouTube or whatever he's on. He's a cool guy. But Joe is a musician, and he's always wanted to be a musician, like a famous jazz pianist. But he's stuck being a middle school teacher and as a part-time middle school teacher. And this guy finally gets his big break to become that jazz star that he wants to be. And then all of a sudden he falls and dies. Yeah, very morbid, very crazy. But the whole story itself is just, it's life, man. And he goes through this journey where he's in the afterlife and he's going to the great beyond, is what they call it, which is basically heaven. I believe in Christ, so that's for me, is going to heaven. But he sees himself as, he basically sees like a clip of his life and how it amounted to nothing in his eyes. And he tries to get back to that. But in between there, he's tasked with trying to get a new soul, which is basically someone who hasn't been born yet, who's kind of been stuck in that, like after, like that in between phase and hasn't been able to go into the real world. He's tasked with trying to get this soul ready to go into the world while trying to get himself back to the world. It's a crazy concept, but in the midst of this, he he helps this soul realize how great it is to live life through his own life. And it's crazy because these things that he was looking at as just minuscule, like walking, talking, eating pizza, watching the sunset, things like that. He took that as like, oh, that's just regular living. But this new soul that had never experienced this life before, all those things were new to her. And so it was just amazing just how she ate her first lollipop, had her first bite of pizza, and all these different things. And she got a haircut, and it was just like life was kind of open for her to where now she was ready to start living. And then Joe realizes that it's funny because he ends up getting back on Earth and he plays that magical show. He gets his big opportunity to become the jazz musician that he wanted to be. And then when he finally gets to that point, he's like, "So what do we do now?" And they're like, "Oh, we do the same thing tomorrow." And he had finally accomplished his biggest dream and then realized that it wasn't worth it. All that time spent trying to chase this one thing, he finally gets there and realizes that was it. Is that what life is truly about? And then that's when he kind of gets into his mind of like, man, like, have I been missing life because I've been chasing after this dream? And there was one line in there that really shook me to my core. Is they're talking about the lost souls, and what the lost souls are these individuals that get so obsessed with a goal uh, or a vision or something that they're trying to achieve that they forget to live, or that they get too distracted with that they stop living. And like, it's crazy to say because I feel like that's been me for so long, where I've been chasing the money, been chasing the dollar, chasing whatever I can to, I'm like, if I can just make this much money, then I can do this and I can do that. If I can do this, then. It's always been a then mentality. And I feel like I've always been chasing after something to where I haven't been able to live in the present because I'm always stuck in the future. And this movie really just opened my eyes to slow down and really enjoy his presence, enjoy God's presence, enjoy the blessings that I already have. Like I'm sitting in front of a beautiful fire right now in amazing Arizona where it's not even cold. That's like I'm just out here, but it's a beautiful night. The smell, I have my taste, my smell, I can walk, I can do all these things. And I normally take that for granted. I take it for granted because I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm not living in my purpose. I'm not living the dream that I've always thought I wanted to live. And honestly, that's an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I believe in like delayed gratification. It's not like YOLO, like live like it's your last day on earth, whatever. But honestly, it could be your last day on earth. And if I left this earth today, right now, I would be I would be more sad because I not that I didn't reach my vision or my goal, but it's because I took life for granted because I was too busy chasing after whatever that thing is, right? And whatever that thing is, when I get there, I'll probably have that same feeling as Joe. I was like, damn, I gave up so much to get this, and this is all that it is. And don't get me wrong, the Bible does say a man without a vision shall perish, but that vision doesn't have to be about money, it doesn't have to be about success. We have to change our mindset about what success actually is. Like, what is true success? It's the relationships that you build, it's the people that you impact, it's the things that you do for people while you're on this earth. It's not about the material things that you get. And it's crazy because I'm speaking these things to you, but this is all revelation that I'm speaking to myself. Is that if you really look at your life right now, are you truly successful? You probably are. You're successful in a way that you aren't really thinking about. Yeah, you might not have millions of dollars and things like that, but you are successful. You just got to look at it that way. Are you alive? If you're alive, if you're breathing right now, then you're successful. You're successful in some area of your life. You just got to figure out what that is. And you don't have to chase a career. You don't have to chase the dollar, but you have to find your, what do they call it? Your spark. And your spark isn't your purpose. It's not something that, oh, I've been put on this earth to do this one thing, because you're going to be put on this earth to do many things. And so that spark is just the spark that allows you to start living. And so don't try to, like, when you think about, man, what I want to do with my life, don't think about like what you want to do with your life. Just worry about living every minute of your life. Live in the present. Don't live in the future for the rest of your life, because if you do that, you're never going to experience true life. And I'm speaking to the camera, but I'm literally speaking to myself. Like, this is me mentoring myself. So if this video only gets one view from me watching it, then that's fine, because I'm getting exactly what I need. And I hope that this video touched you. I don't want to ramble on too long. I don't want to keep going, but watch that movie. Watch that movie Soul if you haven't, because it's a kid's movie, but it's very deep if you let it touch you, if you actually watch it. And the season that I am in my life right now, it really spoke to me. So I hope that it speaks to you. And I don't know if I'll get copyrighted or what for talking about that movie, but hey, whatever. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Sorry, it's been a while since I uploaded a video. I've been trying to, I don't want to say find myself, but I was taking a little break off of social media because I needed to fast. I needed to pray. I needed to get into the word and understand what I was put on this earth for. What am I supposed to be doing? And literally, I felt like God put this movie onto my radar again to rewatch, and it really spoke to me, because it's not about what I'm put on this earth for. It's about who I'm here to help, to save, to influence, to inspire. And so hopefully that's you. Hopefully this video gets to you and you can actually be impacted by the words that I'm saying. So again, don't want to make this video too long. I appreciate y'all. Love you. Have a good one. Peace out.